Hi, my name is Jim Mullaney from Sitek Process Solutions. Today is Thursday, February 18th, 2016. Today I'm doing a video source inspection for a customer who did not have the time or capability to come to our site for a simple inspection. So we're doing this video source inspection of their two Semitool remanufactured ST-860s. For the privacy of our customer, we do not give their name on our videos, only because this is posted to the website for their review and other people could see it. But for reference, their purchase order was 735259, and they are in the southwest part of the United States. This customer actually, the systems are configured for this video source inspection with 4-inch wafers and 5-inch wafers. It turns out we also supply this customer custom cassettes for a smaller substrate with custom rotors. Those are on back order at our machine shop in our Teflon facility in the manufacturing. But the systems are all ready, and we can go ahead and get them source inspected, have them shipped out. The rotors have to be taken out anyway for shipment, so when they do install them in their fab, then they'll install the correct rotors and the correct cassette. We'll do another video for them of those line items specifically before we ship to show the cassette and the rotors work great. To give you an overview of a Semitool ST-860, this is a 5-inch max capable tool. This size again has 5-inch wafers. The rotor, which is this, can be manufactured to whatever type cassette you have, a small cassette up to 5-inch. And so this system will run smaller substrates too, but it can go up to 5-inch. This is a repeat customer. They purchased multiple Richard dryers from us before. They were doing expansion of the product line and needed to buy 2 more double stacks, and the custom cassettes and rotors we're building for them. This system has the resistivity option. We have TC40s. You see the TC40s in the panel. It also has the Semitool 328 controllers. Let me show you down below. Those are the 328 controllers you can see in there. As you can see, that a little bit different than you might notice if you know anything about the 328s. We use a blue light to illuminate for the power. That's different than anybody else. So that way we think it looks kind of nice, and it designates to us in the fab that we know it's one of our controllers. The 328 controllers is a single rinse dual dry controller. There was many studies done at Semitool that if you can minimize your high RPM dry, you'll always get better particle counts. So what Semitool is designed is a 2 dry mechanism. Dry 1 is a higher RPM, usually about 1800, and it slings the water off the substrate, and it's for a short duration, usually about 60 seconds or less. Then dry 2 ramps back down to 500 or 600 RPM, depending on the customer's spec, and it is a slower RPM that allows the wafers to dry. Using the N2 heat, it uses the heater blankets and the centrifugal force of the rotor spinning. These systems have gone through our remanufacturing process. What we do is we take the systems, we take them down to the frame level, just the frame. We clean the frame. We then take the systems, break them down to the component level. When I say component, I don't mean chip component. I mean build component. ACR valve, heater blankets, N2 heater, solenoid valves. Those are all broken apart, remanufactured, replaced if necessary. The bowls are sent out to be reprocessed and re-electropolished, so they have a new finish. The controllers are gone through. We have a controller repair facility here that we do complete refurbishment of the controllers. We can do complete testing of them. You know, we talked about our blue signal. Once we have all of the components rebuilt at their level, we start the dry manufacturing. That's done out in the manufacturing on stainless steel tables, where we build the head up, and it's built up and it has no poly on it yet, because this is the final configuration. It's just the head assembly itself. We go through quality control checklists. We have a second technician who does the quality control. If any errors are found, they're repaired and requalified. Once the systems go past dry test, they come into wet test. They're still in just the head assembly itself. It goes through complete wet test processing, the same quality control process, the same QC checklist, except for there's water included now. And then once it passes that, they're put into the configuration. In this case, they're put into the poly, the double stack, the controllers are mounted, all the cabling is done in the back, and so forth. Then they're burnt in, and we run extensive burn-in. We have a 50-run burn-in process. If we have any errors during that 50 run, because you are burning in a refurbished tool, which we know that, and we have a lot of history. We've done over 1,000 systems that we then, if any issue happens, we restart the count at 50 again and keep the burn-in process going. So, the system is completely manufactured. At this point, we're just going to show the customer that they're running great. The reason we do this is because the freight is out of our control. There, one time in the past, in the last 17 years we've been in business, one of the crates did fall over. We didn't know about it. The customer opened it up, and saw the damage and questioned, because we didn't do video source inspections 12 to 14 years ago, and they were questioned our quality, even though they were a repeat customer. It wasn't this customer who had bought probably 12 or 13 double stacks. We decided at that point in our company to video source inspect every tool we do. We do a lot of tools besides rinser dryers. This is just one of them. We'll talk about that in a second. So we'll go ahead and start these tools while we're waiting. I always I get used to hitting stop, only because the newer tools I do that. And hit start. Let me do the same thing. I always like to make sure the cassette's pushed in. Now we're in the rinse cycle here. Push that one in. Rinse cycle. Push that one in. Rinse cycle. Why this is processing, I'll talk a little bit about our company. So right now we have a 500 RPM rinse, approximately 500 RPM. The 328s use a rheostat type neural knob, so you have to look at the RPM gauge to know, it's not a digital display. So it's kind of an estimation. It could be plus or minus 10, 15 RPM, but that's been acceptable in the industry for these tools. So once you go through the rinse, we do only a 30-second rinse. We like to cycle the tools a lot in our testing, so we do a shorter rinse. We want the valves to be actuated open and close, open and close. So if there is any defects, they're burned out in final test. Now what you can see, we're ramping up. We're at approximately 2,000, 1,800 RPM, high RPM. See how quiet these machines are? You can barely hear them running. Now we have all 4 head assemblies running at 1,800 RPM. If I was walked 10 feet away, I wouldn't even know these tools run. They are high quality remanufacturing and balanced. Once we go through this 60-second high speed spin off, we'll go into dry 2, which will ramp back down to 500 RPM. We have it set up for approximately 150 seconds. And then at the end of the process, we'll review the tools. Sitek Process Solutions is the U.S. leader in Semitool spin rinse dryers. As we said, we've done much more than 1,000 systems in our career. We are the experts. We also have 100% spare parts and service on all versions of the Semitool spin rinse dryers. The older STs, which these are, the S models, which is the newest model, the newer models, and the F model, F as in Frank. And those use digital controllers, and the S uses a brushless motor with a servo amp. But we supply and support all those tools. In fact, if you go to our website at sitekprocess.com, which you can see our name right in the front there with our URL, you'll see that on the left-hand side there's buttons you can choose. The first 7 buttons are Semitool related. We have a button for each specific type model, and then each specific model type spare part. Then as you go down, you'll notice other tools. We do quite a lot of box washers, the Integris cassette and box washers, the big HTC systems. We do a lot of mask cleaners, the K&S, the Ultratech, Ultra T, and so forth. In fact, I source inspected one earlier today for a customer that we're shipping down into California. We do microscopes, high and low power. We do different etch systems. We do Branson's, Matrix, March etchers. We do quite a lot of photolithography pumps. We have a lot of IDI, Cyborg, Millipore pumps in stock. We do complete pump setups. We have complete testing facility on that here. So you'll see we do a wide range. Everything we sell is fully refurbished. We don't sell anything as is or operational of our company. We believe that there's a value to doing a refurbishment process. It helps build long-term credibility, which is the goal of Sitek, and the customers really enjoy that. We also do quite a lot of customer repairs. There's an example of a customer, there's actually 2 of them actually, that have sent their systems in for remanufacturing. We probably remanufacture a couple systems every week for customers. It's part of our core business here. Customers like that because they start off buying spares from us. Then when their tools, they've been 20 years old, they can send them to us for a remanufacture. They come back in like new condition, and they can run for another 20 years hopefully. So we got about another 30 seconds on this. At the end of the process, there's a time delay. It's about 20 seconds, but it seems like it's an hour because 20 seconds takes a lot. Then after it stops, when the timer times out, there's a rotor stop positioner called an RSP. It actually fires a piston that hits the cam assembly. It rotates the cam, which will bring the wafers to 12 o'clock position. You'll see that when it happens. And once that happens, you probably can't hear it. It's not very loud. But then I can hear the door release, the seal, and I can open the door and check for the substrates. We have a shorter process than a lot of customers use, only because we actuate them a lot. A lot of customers run maybe a 4 to 5 minute dry cycle. Okay, so now this system is finished, but again, you'll have the 20-second delay or so. It all depends. The rotors can stop faster, so the delay is not when it stops. The delay stops after the process says I'm at 0. So a rotor that stops quicker seems like it has a longer delay because it's sitting stopped longer. Alright, there I heard the cam fire. That's the 12 o'clock position. There we go, doors released. The bottom one, 12 o'clock position. I like to always feel for hot end too. Yep, I can feel it there. I can feel it right there, yep. And then I like to look at the substrates. They look good. They look good. This one in another probably 5 or 10 seconds. There we go. That uprighted. And I feel for the hot end too. Yep, I feel it right there. Check the bottom one. Yep, hot end too. Let's go look. Substrates look good. Substrates look good. Okay, so as you can see, they ran through. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention. On the back of the systems, we have our serial tags and so forth. This one is Sitek Process Solutions model ST-860. It is serial number SRD 00839. Manufacture date was 2/2016. We have our URL with sales and support. We also have these new stickers that says this equipment is fully supported by Sitek, 100% spare parts and support. We put those in the back. This system is ST-860 00838. Again, on a double stack, that would only count as one serial number, even though it's 2 head assemblies. And then one thing I didn't talk about is that what we do is when we do our remanufacturing process, you can't see it here, but I just saw it in the back. We tag many things inside of the system. On the back of the system here, we have N2N, DIN, so the customer wouldn't be able to tell by looking at it when they facilitize if it's N2 or DI. We mark those for the customer. Inside the head assembly, we mark the 8 PSI sensors, the 20 PSI sensors, the ACR valves, the whole Humphrey valve assembly. I don't know if I talked about, actually I might not have, is on our remanufacturing process, we put all new Teflon lines in for both N2 and DI. It's critical for the N2 and the DI path for it to be high quality replaced. We also do all the pneumatic lines that control the Humphrey solenoids all the way to the ACR valves. We do those color coded. It's kind of hard sometimes when a customer is working down there in the maintenance group and they're all clear lines, you can't tell where they go. So we use red, yellow, green, black, and so forth, and then you can follow through to the correct position on the rinse and dryer. We also can send customers a complete bill of materials on this with a complete spare part package so they can buy the needed valves for spares if we want it, and so forth. So that will complete the video source inspection of these two Semitool ST-860s. Again, they've gone through a remanufacturing process. They're in great shape. Our number here, if there's any questions, is 916-797-9000. You can ask for anyone in our sales department, and they'll be more than happy to help you. Again, my name is Jim Mullaney, and today is February 18th, 2016. Thank you. Have a great day.